Speaking of interesting parents, your upbringing, you had an absolutely incredible, and I mean, just origin story. Like you have seen and done it all. I mean, the circumstances of your growing up was extremely harsh. No,
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly, man.
you're from Maryland, right?
From Maryland originally.
Rough place in Maryland.
See, here's the crazy thing. So the way Maryland is it's like anywhere in the world, there's good places and there's bad places. And where I lived, it's like, oh, suburban, beautiful area, but then you go a couple miles down and take a left, and it's like you don't want to walk down here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I always say even much more than just your neighborhood is also where you lived. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, in my house, in my apartment, like the gnarliest shit was going on. But even in the building, there was people who like would rent various apartments, and in this apartment they were cooking crack, in this apartment they were pimping out prostitutes, in this apartment they were selling the narcotics, and knowing that all this is happening and seeing it and being invited, and like you're like 8 years old and you're like, crack, like, you know what I mean? It's like it's pretty gnarly. But I never, even though I went through a lot of messed up stuff, even when I was young, I always knew it wasn't right. It wasn't like I've said that I've done dumb shit. I've shot guns. I've run around with knives. I've done all types of crazy shit, but nothing I can ever look in the mirror and like regret. You know what I mean? Like nothing like that. But it was really difficult, but I just never focused on it. I always focused on how to get out. And for me, it was music. And I always looked at, I never looked at it like, oh yeah, bitches and hoes and boats. Like, I'm just going to like be a rapper. I always say persistence, determination, and realism, persistence, determination, realism, and wanting success more than your next breath. Like that's how you can get there. And some people say, oh, it's not realistic to be a rapper, but I never looked at it as that. I looked at it as a business. And if I could market and brand myself a certain way, like Teddy Fresh, then, people would want to buy into that brand.
Right.
But the thing that I didn't want to create was a brand that was built on fallacy. So I was like, all right, well, you know what? I'm going to be myself to the utmost degree, and it's either going to work or it's not going to work. And it's pretty doing,
it's working.
Right. It's doing okay. Yeah.